Phase 4 is ending, Hori, already.
It
It's
is
like
indeed.
my third day out here.
It does feel like it only just started.
So I saw a graph the other day of hours worth of content put out per year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, Marvel put out more content than every other year combined.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense with all the shows.
Yeah. So you got all the shows as well as like what we have 3.
Films.
We're gonna have 4 films this year and 3 TV
Jesus.
shows.
Once Upon a Time was what, 1 film a year?
1 film a year. Two was an insane year. Once upon a time.
So no wonder.
Which is
Phase
why
4
it feels
is-
like it's going faster.
Yeah.
It's not going faster in terms of content watched. It's going faster in terms of
Release.
the gap between content.
Yeah.
Because like we said, there's Phase 6, for instance, takes place in literally 364 days. But
Okay.
there's 10 projects in that time.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't really registered to me how much is going to be coming out in Phase 5 in literally next year.
Yeah, Phase 5 starts February 17th and February 17th, 2023, and ends May 3rd, 2024.
Yeah. My brain can't comprehend us having that much content for a year.
I'm going to say this now, though. That
Okay.
May 3rd, 2024 is going to
Yep.
be pushed back at least 2 months. Because otherwise, we're going to have like a 6-month gap in between the end of Phase 5 and the beginning of Phase 6, which they won't want.
Yeah. True.
So I think a lot of stuff is going to slide back like 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
that 6-month gap isn't as long. But
Yeah, I mean,
that's neither here nor there.
yeah. Some of those things.
So before the end of Phase 4, we have She-Hulk and then Black Panther. Black
Yes.
Panther has been named as the end of Phase 4.
Mm-hmm. It has.
Which is kind of interesting because I don't really remember, and don't get me wrong, this might be just because I wasn't as obsessed back then as I am now. I don't remember the end of a phase being confirmed to be a film until afterwards.
I think
I feel like it was always Kevin Feige going, okay, we're now in Phase 2, instead of Phase 1 is going to end here.
I don't know, because they definitely, I would say they only introduced the phases when they realized, right, we're at the end of Phase 1. It was like midway Phase 2, I think they were like, okay, this is Phase 2, that was Phase 1. And then I would say they had the graphs, like those things they do at San Diego Comic-Con or something, which shows the timeline of the phase. They started doing that. So I would say it was somewhere in like mid Phase 2 they started coming up with like where the phases ended. But there was less, I guess, because the films weren't as big as they are now back then. They were big, but they weren't as big. There isn't as many like eyes and as much focus on the phases and what this means, because we've had those first 3. We understand what the phases are doing and what's building up and what's happening. So we're more focused on like, oh, this is the end of Phase 4, which means Phase 5 starts here, and this is when things are going to change to like. So I think that's part of it.
Quite possibly. But like I said, Phase 4's ending. We've only got 2 projects left to Phase 4, and I mean, we got treated to trailers to both of them.
Yes, we did.